Although this is an entirely separate series from what I did for my last video, it does share a common theme with it in that this is a game I never really got a chance to play as a kid, or at all. I never actually had the ability to even try it. I never in my life owned a Sega console, nor did I have any friends who did. The closest I ever got was half considering getting a Dreamcast and then deciding against it and having a PS2 instead. So it goes without saying I missed the Streets of Rage series. In fact, for most of my life I did not even know it was a thing, but I have for a few years and I've always been meaning to try the original one, and thanks to Sega Genesis / Mega Drive Classics being available on all major consoles and PC. No, this is not an ad, I just appreciate when these big collections come out. It was easy to do. Game selection's easy enough and really cool. I love the retro vibe of this, so let's get into it. There is a single player campaign, which, well, I say single player, it can be done co-op, consisting of 8 levels and 3 characters you can choose from. I went with Adam because he was the first character. I had nothing to judge these characters on, so I just went with the first one. We only have 3 buttons: punch, jump and a special attack. Assuming I have the special attack to use, it's the S counter at the top, and that's it. I would say this game is a fairly run-of-the-mill side-scrolling beat-em-up, but at the time this was released, August 2nd, 1991, making the game older than the person currently recording this commentary, they'd only existed for a handful of years. Enemies are pretty standard. We have some thugs, we have an enemy that looks like he's out of a cyberpunk film, an enemy that looks like he's out of a kung fu film, and a dominatrix with a whip. Yeah, that's just a standard enemy type in this franchise. No surprises there. Every level ends with a boss, and the first one was no exception. We have what looks to be a very tall man. He's got to be at least 7 foot with a boomerang. Even with my limited amount of experience at this point, it wasn't hard. Next level, we appear to be in backstreets. It's the same kind of enemies, although more of them, and with more weapons appearing, although that benefits me as much as it does them. Oh yeah, and we also have juggler enemies now, because that makes sense to have jugglers join the fight. The boss here is a right bastard Wolverine ripoff, very hard to hit. You basically have to approach him directly from the front or the back, or really, which, you know, weird angles with that, but otherwise he'll hit you, so you have to get him at a perfect angle. He was challenging, but I got him eventually. Next level, we're on a beach, which is a nice bit of variety for once, and we start to see some varieties of enemies that we have seen before, but they're basically reskins, but the reskins are harder. The boss here is a man who charges you, but it's just a case of timing your punches. In theory, it's very easy. It's made a lot harder by other enemies around, and it makes it quite challenging. These bosses are where the game gets hard. It's not particularly difficult to get to the boss, but it's pretty difficult when you're there. Although this one wasn't too bad. We've had worse. Next level is a bridge with holes you can fall down and throw enemies down to if you time it right. I never did. Enemies now are getting harder, but it's still manageable. The boss though. Jesus Christ. It is a giant, let's just say rotund man that breathes fire. Either he's part dragon or he's eaten far too much spicy food, but either way, he's a nightmare. He's also surprisingly spry for a chunky guy. I do eventually beat him, and I was very happy then, but he really did whittle my life down in the process. Level 5 is a ship, but there's not much really different from the others. The bosses are 2 women that jump and flip around a lot and just seem to love doing jump kip. Compared to the last one, I was expecting these to be really bad. They actually won. The next level though, that's where it gets hard. It's a factory with a bunch of much harder enemies, conveyor belts, crushers, and despite all that, I get through to the claw guy boss, specifically 2 of them. And yes, they did kill me. So, after several attempts to do better than that, I came to one very important conclusion. No, actually, I came to 2. Streets of Rage is hard, and I'm not very good at it, so I gave up. No, I didn't give up, but I did give up on doing the whole game legitimately. Instead, my focus was now to just see and experience the whole game, because that's really what this is about. It's about experiencing the game, not about being perfect. It's about seeing and experiencing these old games. So I used cheats, which are hard to do. I had to plug in a second controller, which I didn't own, I had to borrow from someone, and while holding right on the D-pad, as well as A, X and B on that second controller, I have to press start on the first controller. That unlocked two things, which in my mind shouldn't be in the cheat menu as part of the main options for a modern version of the game. Level select and the lives. Having selected more lives, as well as the level I died on, I went back and finally got through. That took me to level 7, which is just a massive outdoor lift going up the side of the building. This one doesn't have any bosses because there wasn't really... I didn't really move, I didn't go anywhere, I just stood there and went up. So it was just a load of enemy. However, it may also just be because of level 8, because I had some bosses here. Every single boss I had already beaten. Yeah, each and every one of them comes back. After finally beating up the two women that I defeated before, please don't take that out of context, I got to meet the final boss, Mr. X. I wonder if he's related to Dr. X. Regardless of his family ties, we get a choice to join him, and out of curiosity I said yes, which took me back to level 6. Turns out that wasn't the right decision to make. Suffice to say, I picked no next time, and it's the final boss, Mr. X, and I found him a disappointment, honestly. After some of the bosses I have fought, I expected more of a challenge, because some of them have been quite hard, but no, he's easy to hit, even while firing an assault rifle at you. It doesn't take much to take him down. With that we get the credit, everyone's happy he's been beaten, our heroes are celebrating, and well, that's that. That is Streets of Rage. So, what did I... Wait, no, hold on. We've still got two more characters to try out. Okay, let's do them first. Next one is Axel, who is faster than Adam but with less jump. And yeah, that's noticeable. I like the jump kick, but he's not great. However, the increased speed comes in handy in some places, but all in all, I prefer Adam. The last one is Blaze, who has maximum speed and strength. Speed and jump, not strength. She lacks in strength. I felt like she had a better jump kick out of the three of them. I definitely took full advantage of that, but I also noticed the lack of strength. I didn't end up getting as far with her as I did with Axel and Adam. All in all, I still think Adam is the best character to use, although I can understand why people would prefer Axel or Blaze, because they have their advantages. So what did I think? And this time genuinely, I enjoyed it. Side-scrolling beat-em-ups are not my favourite kind of fighting game. I much prefer games like classic Tekken and games like Streets of Rage. But that being said, I enjoyed this. I've heard the Streets of Rage 2 is the best of the series, but I wanted to start at the beginning, and now I have. So that was the video. I would love to know what you think. I will be going back to Streets of Rage at some point. My next video, well, the game in question will be a bit more British and a bit more magical. I'll leave you to figure that out. All I will say here is thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you very, very soon.